Dear brother, let's get into it. You know what? Some of us have lost ourselves, completely lost ourselves trying to please women. You know what message I got for you today? Stop. You know why? Because many of us have traded our mission. We've traded our mission for her mood. And eventually you look up and you don't even know who you are anymore. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. I think number one, man, one of the biggest things we run into is the trap of validation, right? A lot of times we need validation and we need that love and approval because the expectation is this person is always going to love me and give me approval and show me I'm needed. But then what do you do when you run into those moments where she's not giving you that needed approval? A lot of us have put our stock so much in being approved by that woman or having her affection or love toward us where you can't even focus on your dream and your mission anymore. I'm not at all trying to say that women aren't important. I think a good relationship will carry you places that you thought you would never be. But don't ever think that you need that relationship to get you where you're going. Remember, brother, the relationship is to help you go where you're going. It's not to carry you when you get there. A lot of us have gotten so caught up in relationships or the need for a woman's love that we can't even carry out the visions that are before us. Or we feel like if there's an issue in a relationship, I got to fix that before I can carry on. I know myself, I've been there before, man, where your love is so towards somebody that it messes up your entire day. It messes up your entire focus. Now, I'm not saying that be a robot, but what I'm saying is how many of us have left our mission on the side or left our passion on the side or lost the vigor to get things done because the relationship wasn't going right? I had to remind a brother the other day, man, that one of the biggest things you have to remember is that you weren't born for that person, right? You had a mission long before that relationship. You had a mission long before you met that person. So all of a sudden, you can't tie who you were before to this person, and now you can't get along anymore. See, love shouldn't require you to betray your identity. Love shouldn't require that. If love is requiring you to throw away your identity, man, you're in the wrong relationship. And if you're connected with a person that's making you feel like you got to throw it all away to be with them, then that person's not caring about who you are as a man. Understand this, man. You shouldn't be stripped down in order to be in a relationship. In fact, the woman that you're with should want you to be at your best to be able to love her. Do you know it's virtually impossible to love somebody, love your children, love your girl, your wife? It's impossible to love them fully without loving yourself fully or giving yourself what you need to love them. Right? We understand it with the car we drive. You know what I mean? We understand it with the vehicle. It's like if I don't put any gas in it, I can't go anywhere. We understand it with our bank account. If I don't put any money in here, if I don't deposit anything, there's nothing to withdraw, right? We understand that and we honor that, right? Nobody says, well, I'm gonna try to get by with no gas. I'm gonna try to get by with no money, right? But in life, we try to get by all the time. We try to, in relationships, especially, we try to get by all the time without the fuel that you need to go. It's a trap. Validation, the need for validation is ultimately a trap, right? When you fear losing somebody, you eventually do anything to keep them, even if it's throwing yourself under the bus. The fear of losing somebody is what drives your actions. It drives bad decisions. And you got to love yourself more than that, bro. You got to love yourself. Loving yourself is the key to everything else. See, a lot of times we're not taught that as men. A lot of men we weren't taught that growing up. We weren't taught we should love ourselves because in many cases we were taught how to love a woman, how to honor a woman. I know in my day I was born in 79, right? So growing up it was like hold that door for your mom. You carry that basket. Even as a son, you learn how to take care of women by how you honor your mother or your sisters, right? But in a lot of situations, men are taught how to take care of a woman. A lot of times we're not taught how to take care of ourselves. But on the flip side, a lot of women are taught from a little girl how to take care of herself. She's not taught. People don't teach women how to take care of a man. And I'm not talking about financially, I'm talking about even emotionally. When the little girls grow up, it's like, this is how you take care of yourself. This is how you make yourself look pretty. This is how you, right? There's no conversation about this is how you should love or take care of somebody else. And so you got to realize that in a lot of women's mind, bro, it's really all about them. Right? It's all about them and how you treat them and how they feel, right? And then you lose in a situation where what you feel is not being accepted or looked at all. And we can act like we don't have feelings, bro, but we all know we do. And we don't have to have feelings out in the street, but you got to have a place where you got feelings at home that are accepted, that are embraced. You know, a lot of men eventually, man, we live in homes where we can't express anything, and we just become the paycheck. And just because you can get by doesn't mean you're happy with that, bro. You know, just because you can get by, or just turn on the game, or do whatever you do to get by it, it doesn't mean it's not a burning within, a need for you. And that's not something that should be ignored as a man. So I named this podcast "Stop Trying to Please Her," bro. Stop trying to please her. And see, it gets confusing because it's like, should I please a woman? Yeah, but you shouldn't lose yourself in pleasing her. In fact, pleasing her should be a pleasure to you. And what makes it a pleasure to you is that you're also gaining something from it. Your relationship has to be a place of exchange, bro. It has to be a place of exchange, right? Where you're getting and giving. And there's seasons in life where your person might not have anything to give back, but that's a regular relationship. But when you find yourself always the giver, and you're not getting anything back, bro, you're probably in the wrong situation. And you got to be able to reevaluate that situation, but you got to love yourself in order to reevaluate it. Most of us won't reevaluate it because we can't see that, hey, is this the best thing for me? Is this the best place for me to be? Don't become invisible. Don't become invisible. And we can all do it, especially if you got kids. You become invisible, but you can't be the anchor of the family invisible at the same time. See, it's a slow death, man. The loss of self-respect is a slow death. And it happens within relationship a lot, right? We're not even gonna get into the money chase outside. We're just gonna deal with what we're dealing with today. But the loss of self-respect is a slow death, bro. It's a slow death. See, when you constantly get into a place where you're compromising what you care about, compromising friendships, compromising things that you need in your life to make you the man of your own dreams, then at that point, when you're giving it all away, man, then you're not caring about yourself. And the self-respect is starting to go. And once your self-respect goes, bro, you just become a mat. And sadly, I must say, man, that I've seen a lot of men become mats, right? And I can't say it wasn't a time in my life where I became a mat, right? Not because you're weak, but many times what makes you a mat is that you're exhausted, you're tired, right? So when you start to please her, you ignore you and you ignore your standard. See, and this is why I love our community, man, because there's a lot of myths out here that a woman should have a standard, and this the way she should be treated, and if not, she ain't gonna be there. And we don't have the same standard. You should have the same standard for yourself. What's your standard in relationships, bro? Are you asking yourself that? Or are you just letting stuff go by? What's your standard? What's your standard? And your standard can't be looks because she's beautiful. She deserves to trash your life. Absolutely not. It's nobody that beautiful, and there's nobody that beautiful that's going to make you or should make you sabotage yourself. No way. See, when you start to lose your self-respect, man, you can't maintain any relationship. I don't care what relationship it is. Once you lose respect for yourself, then you have no voice. The first thing that goes away a lot of times when we lose respect for ourselves is our voice. We lose our voice, right? You start to believe that what you say doesn't matter. You start to believe that your direction you're given doesn't matter. And you stop talking. Once you stop talking and you start living in here, that's the first sign that your self-respect is going away. Because now you think the thoughts of your mind and the direction that you give as a man, you're a leader. And don't get mixed up that I don't own a business, or I don't run this, or I don't run a religious organization or a Fortune 500 company, that you're not a leader. Every man is born a leader. Absolutely. Every man is born a leader. It's a part of the male gene is to lead, not just to survive, but to thrive and be able to lead people where you got to go. And the first person you always got to lead, bro, is yourself. You got to lead you. And sometimes the greatest leading you can do is out of situations where you lose yourself. Do you love enough? Do you love yourself enough to walk away from a situation where you know you're not being valued? Know you're not being cared about. Know that you're not mattering, bro. It matters that you matter. Don't just throw yourself away like that. It matters that you matter. See, because what I like to call the invisible scoreboard, right? It's the invisible scoreboard where we start to do everything to please everybody, and eventually you start keeping score. And you know what keeps that score? Your body, your mind. And start keeping that score, your emotions. That's where you find yourself by yourself thinking and overthinking, and you're losing yourself in the thought, should I have done this? And you start questioning everything you've done because of that scoreboard is racking up in your mind, right? And when you start giving and not receiving, again, that's when that scoreboard comes in. That I did all this. I did all this for her. And you start looking, what am I getting back? That scoreboard starts going up. Because eventually, man, you'll realize that love has not been reciprocated to you. And when you start seeing that, then the connection begins to go. And sometimes the connection needs to go, depending on who you're with. If you're with somebody who can see that, right, who cares about it, then there's a conversation. But if someone doesn't even want to have, if you're with somebody that doesn't want to have the conversation about your needs, about what matters to you, then what you really in, bro? What you really in? Think about it. You know, let me know in the comments. Have you ever been through that? Have you ever been in a situation where you woke up and said, man, that scoreboard hit you like, whoa, whoa, dang, it's not, I'm not mattering, right? I'm pleasing, and there's nothing being reciprocated. And eventually you're running out of fuel. Let me know in the comments if you've been through that. I know I've been there. I've been there, and it can break a man. It can break us to know that we're in a situation where we're not really cared for, and you know it. And many times we act like, or what we do is we take the little thing that she does. It could be this big, but we make it big enough to justify or not justify our feelings. Oh man, it's not really like that because she bring me a Diet Coke every Monday, right? I'm telling you, when you can get lost in the love for a woman, where you begin to inflate the things that she does to the point where you start to say, "Oh well, that's it right there, bro." You got to know that you want more, and you got to not apologize for that. You got to not apologize for that because you matter. I want to say that over and over, bro. You got to know that you matter. It matters that you matter. It does. It does. See, because eventually, man, you start to desert yourself. And I'm gonna tell you a lot of times, and when you get caught up into, you start to desert your brothers. You start to desert voices around you that will keep you whole. And the only voice that begins to matter is hers. What she says, what she wants, right? Don't desert voices that will help you thrive and think through. Right? Because why? Because then we get into the trap called isolation, where we isolate ourselves from everybody else. We get rid of our circle because a circle might intimidate her, or the circle, she don't like you hanging out with the circle. Do you know you need your circle? Just like when you're with a woman, she needs her friends. She needs her friends, not to talk bad about you, but to strengthen herself or get advice. We need the same thing. The person you with can't be your only circle. No, is she the most important piece? Yeah, but that doesn't negate the fact that you need other people in your life. See, eventually, man, and I've seen brothers do this, man. A man without friends, a man without the brotherhood, you're easily manipulated. You're easily manipulated. Why? Why? Because you don't have somebody, men around you constantly affirming and reaffirming your strength and holding you together when things is falling apart. You need that, bro. You need that. See, eventually, and this is one of the most dangerous thing, when you begin to resent yourself. See, because in bad relationships, you don't start off resenting that person. You start off resenting yourself. And when you resent something, you know how it feels. All of us have been in a situation where you resent something. That's a bad place to be. When you resent another person, man, it starts getting ill will toward them, right? Imagine resenting yourself, resenting your decisions, right? When you look up and you suppress your dreams and your goals, you start resenting yourself. Eventually, it start boiling over, and for a man, when that thing start boiling over, it becomes a place of anger, right? And now you're angry at everything. Anger starts against you, but then now you're angry at everything. You're angry that you haven't achieved. You're angry, and that resentment or that anger could make you either go forward or it can make you boil within. And a man boiling within, it ain't gonna boil for so long before it blows up. How does it blow up? It doesn't have to blow up in an angry rage. Sometimes it blows up in addiction, right? Sometimes it blows up in a place where you're hiding yourself. Sometimes it blows up with eating too much. It blows up with all kinds of stuff, right? See, a lot of you brothers out there, you don't eat because you some fat slob, right? You don't overeat because you some slob. You overeat because that becomes your comfort thing that's messing up your body. Or we run to too much alcohol, right? Or we run to something that's eventually tearing us apart. See? And then eventually you lash out. You lash out at yourself or somebody else with no warning. And everybody around you, whoa, where did that come from? It didn't come from right then. It came from the years and years and years of you pleasing her and ignoring you. And now the argument becomes way more than an argument, or every disagreement becomes way bigger. Why? Because you're holding on to something and you're resenting yourself. Eventually, you're resenting her. See, resentment is the result of constant. Resentment comes when you're constantly self-denying. You denied yourself. You denied yourself. You denied your dreams. You denied your goals. Eventually, man, that's where you end up. So it's a wake up call, man. Resentment is a wake up call that you really have gone too far against yourself. I hope this is helping today, brothers. Hit that like button. Brings more people to the channel, man. More brothers, man. Hit that subscribe button and then share this, man. Share it not because we trying to blow up and become, but this is a good community, man, where grown men are growing. And it's important, man, that we share good wisdom because there's so much nonsense online leading us as men in the wrong way, right? We get so much information out there, but information don't mean it's wisdom, right? Knowledge don't mean it's wisdom. And some of this stuff not even knowledge, man. It's just foolishness. It's foolishness. I like my age and stage and wisdom in life because I'm young enough to share with the young cats and I'm old enough to share with the old heads as a bridge builder. That's what I like to see myself as, a bridge builder. So we don't have to lose the generations of young men. We can give them wisdom and we can receive the wisdom we need from the older gentlemen and create what we have here, the Dear Brother podcast community where grown men keep growing, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into a few more pieces, man, before we go. This is another big thing, man. And I've been here before where you lose your authenticity. Now you're trying to become somebody you're not, trying to please her. Now you're trying to act like somebody you're not, right? You're trying to act like somebody you think she might want. Man, when you're trying to come outside of yourself to act like something else for this person, you have totally lost you. You've totally lost you. You have disrupted yourself, bro. Remember, you had a you before she came. See, the right one's going to honor the fact that you stand firm on what you believe and the man you are. The right one, see, the right one ain't gonna make you shrink. She ain't gonna make you shrink. She ain't gonna make you feel like you need to put yourself in this little bubble, right? This little quiet bubble, right? I've been in a relationship before, man, where I was trying to do everything that I thought made her happy, and it's like the goalpost kept on moving. That's the danger of trying to keep on pleasing a woman, where the goalpost keeps on moving because a woman might want this today and that tomorrow, and now you're chasing a goalpost, right? Especially if you're with a woman who's not stable in her own emotions, man. Then now you're the goalpost is not even moving. Now you on a whirlwind where you don't even you just twisted in the wind. Every wind of her desire to blow is you trying to become that. See, authenticity, 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 bro. It is that's what attracts the right person to you. Not being some fraud, not being some fake, not trying to act like you something that you're not. Authenticity is what brings the right person. Authenticity is what brings the right situations. Authenticity is what brings you the right opportunities. See? So we talking about the woman today, but we also talking about you, because again, you matter above all this other stuff. See, ultimately, man, the biggest thing you can do is choose purpose over pleasing. And if my purpose doesn't please everything, that's okay, because I'm living for my purpose. I'm not living to please everybody. I'm not living to please everybody. You know how you take your life back, man? One no at a time. One no at a time. You don't have to be a yes man to keep everybody happy. Because what about you? You matter too. right? So stop choosing. You got to start choosing your purpose over pleasing. Your mission in life, man, has to become before that relationship. Because the right woman gonna ride that wave and help you get that mission done, not take you away from it, not take you away from it. See, you got purpose, man, and your purpose is going to lead you to where you got to go. Your purpose is going to lead you to the greatest space of your life, places you thought you would never be. Right? So chase your purpose, man. Stop chasing her and her emotions. See, the real relationship you're going to walk together. I'm challenging some of you today, right? Ultimately, man, please God with your life. Please God with your life. The right person to be there and the wrong people will get off the train. But don't take yourself off your path, because soon as you take yourself off your path, man, you'll find all the wrong stuff that don't belong to you. It doesn't, and watch this, it doesn't mean that some of that stuff ain't good for somebody. It just ain't good for you. You don't got to curse every woman that you didn't make it with. That means she wasn't good for you. But what it does mean is you can't keep on trying to hold somebody by the leg and keep them happy or keep them in a relationship when it's hurting your purpose. You were born with a mission before you met that person. And you can't let go of that mission for that person. You can't, bro. It's very important because then this leads a good segue, man. It leads us into places of shame, guilt, and doubt about ourselves. In fact, while I'm talking about shame, go over to christianwinners.com, bro, and get my ebook. It's called uh I forgot the name of my own book. Right? It's about shame. I need to look, there's so much in my mind. I give y'all so much stuff. I'm teaching so much. Let me see here. Right? But it's about redeeming yourself from shame. A lot of us have dealt with horrible shame in our life, man. Horrible shame. And shame of our decisions, shame about some of the dumb things we allowed ourselves to stay in, right? Take your life back. Shame. I did a 3-part teaching on this, a live teaching, and then I wrote the book after that, But I was driving this point that shame is a terrorist. It's not a teacher. Shame will terrorize you, will put you in a corner and make you feel like nothing. Shame is a voice that constantly breaks you down and won't let you get and thrive to the places you want. Shame will make you feel unworthy. Go get that book, man, christianwinners.com. Go in the store right now. Right? That book will be, as soon as you hit that button, man, that book will be right in your email or right in your phone or iPad or wherever you want it to go. Removing the shame from your life, bro. I lived it. I've been through shame. That's why I wrote the book. I got to go to my guy and see if I can find the teachings again, because I would like to put them up. But man, yeah, anybody battling with shame, man, get that monkey off your back, because that thing will strangle you, bro. Removing the shame from your life. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out with me today, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. I love you, but make sure you love you. You hear what I'm saying? Walk this life out with no fear, no shame, and no compromise. This world needs you. Your family needs you. Your children need you. Your purpose needs you. Your business needs you. Right? So be the man you were born to be. We end the show the same way all the time, bro. This may be your first time or your 20th time, right? Yesterday was history and tomorrow's a mystery. All you got is right now. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do about it? Until the next time, bro. I'll see you soon. Peace.